What's up, Taiwan? I'm Bergdahl with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. All this week, Taiwan has been carrying out its annual Qingguang military drills. In Wednesday's portion, soldiers practice how to respond to an attack on the country's largest airport. Our reporter Jaime Ocon was there.
For the first time ever, Taiwan's military is conducting a simulated air attack here at Taoyuan International Airport. It comes as day 3 as Taiwan's annual military drills are underway, which tests the country's response to an attack from China. And a part of that response is on display here.
Troops are learning how to prevent Chinese soldiers from quickly capturing Taiwan's largest international airport. While soldiers have carried out similar drills in the past, this is the first time it's being done on a potential battlefield.
这个演习通常都是在其他地方做，或者是用模拟的方式。那这次很难得的采取实兵的方式，这也让整个的验证这次演习的实兵演练更接近实战的状况。
Because Taiwan is an island nation, airports and seaports are critical to connecting it with the outside world. In recent years, Beijing's threats towards Taiwan have increased, and so have its military operations in the region. But the two countries are separated by roughly 150 kilometers of ocean, which means an attack on Taiwan can only happen by sea or by air. In addition to helicopters, another possible scenario is Chinese aircraft parachuting in soldiers to capture the airport. If Taiwan doesn't contain and fend off this attack, China could land additional troops and push forward to the capital city Taipei, around 50 kilometers away. Exercises like these are so important for Taiwan because they can help the country adjust and correct its defense strategy.
Most important thing is get them before they land. So if we know that heliborne and airborne troops will be the primary transportation means, then you need to have short-range missiles and guns to take them down before they can land.
Taiwan has invested more in these types of anti-aircraft weapons, but these exercises are an opportunity for the military to see how its current defense plan holds up and if any changes are needed.
These drills lasted about 40 minutes. They impacted dozens of flights and affected thousands of travelers. Now, that might seem like it's a lot. It's a small price to pay considering what could happen if the military wasn't trained to defend this vital transport hub. Leon Lian and Jaime Ocon in Taoyuan City for TaiwanPlus.
Typhoon Doxori is projected to skirt past Taiwan's southern tip without hitting directly, but its effects are still being felt across the country. Floods have struck parts of the south and east, while strong winds have cut power to over 2,000 homes. The extreme weather has also forced the military to cancel part of its yearly Qingguang defense exercises. Instead, it's redeploying soldiers to help communities deal with the damage. Doksuri is gaining strength and has the potential to turn into a super typhoon. The storm's already started battering the neighboring Philippines, causing flooding and damaging power lines there. Doksuri will pass close to Taiwan on Thursday. Legislators from the ruling Democratic Progressive Party are the latest to criticize Taiwan's defense ministry over its bulletproof vests. This comes after a viral video that showed the vests failing to stop the kind of bullets used by Chinese soldiers. The defense ministry responded by holding its own demonstration of the vests, but some have pointed out that the ministry's test used less powerful bullets, and now DPP lawmakers say that the military's equipment isn't up to modern standards.
我们采购防弹背心的根据标准是 NIJ，NIJ 的英文是 National Institute of Justice， 它是美国司法部司法学院的测试规范，适用的是美国的执法人员，就是警察，这不是军规。
There's been a shakeup in China's leadership. After disappearing from public view last month, Qingguang is leaving his post as the country's foreign minister. His replacement, the man he succeeded just 8 months ago. Bing Wang reports.
After a month-long absence from public view, China removed Qingguang as its foreign minister. He was in the position for just 8 months. The reason for his abrupt departure was not given. Qing was a rising star in the Chinese Communist Party. China's President Xi Jinping referred to him as one of his most trusted advisors. Wang Yi will now take Qing's place, once again serving as China's foreign minister, a position he held for almost 10 years until 2022. Wang will also serve as head of the party's Foreign Affairs Commission, making him China's highest-ranking diplomat.
国家主席习近平7月25日签署第8号主席令：1、免去秦刚兼任的 外交部部长职务，任命王毅为外交部部长。
Despite rumors of a possible affair between Qing and a state-run media presenter, Beijing says his absence from high-ranking diplomatic meetings was due to medical reasons. When a reporter asked the Chinese Foreign Ministry about Qing's whereabouts, the spokesperson gave a tight-lipped response.
When will he return to public duties?
你这个问题我没有可以提供的信息。
All references to Qing have already been removed from the Foreign Ministry's website. It's unclear whether Qing will face disciplinary proceedings after his dismissal. And with China's typical lack of transparency, the reason for his ouster may never be revealed. Devin Tsai and Qingguang for TaiwanPlus.
For more on this, Louise Watt spoke to Wen Tisong, a political scientist at Australian National University and an expert in Chinese politics.
What are we to make of Qingguang losing his job as Chinese foreign minister?
One way to look at it is the fact that Qingguang has two jobs at the same time, both as foreign minister and as state counselor. Now, Qingguang has only lost the first job, namely foreign minister. So there are a few ways to read this. First way is that Qingguang is allowed to retain title as state counselor because it provides some kind of political protection for him. We know that in the politics world of dogs, people tend to kick you when you're down. So the fact that Qingguang still has one important position still provides some kind of sign to Qingguang's enemies domestically that, hey, Qingguang is not politically dead, and therefore you may want to go easy on him. A second way to read it is that Qingguang may potentially be undergoing an investigation right now for all these rumors that have surfaced around him. There's no point in handing punishment when he's not yet proven guilty yet.
Qingguang was seen as a favorite of Chinese President Xi Jinping. So does his removal as foreign minister signal anything about Xi's grip on power?
I think the fact that Qingguang gets to retain his position as state counselor for now is already a sign that President Xi Jinping's hold on power remains ironclad at this point. State counselor is essentially junior deputy premier in the Chinese system, which means that state counselor outrank foreign ministers. If the rumor is true that Qingguang is a favorite of President Xi, then the fact that amidst all this pressure, all these controversies around Qingguang, he is still able to retain a state counselor appointment at this moment. That's a sign that he's still in the good graces of President Xi.
Qingguang hasn't been seen in public for about a month, and there's been a lot of rumors swirling around about him. What do you think's happened to him?
I think chances are that there may be some kind of investigation going on at the moment. So it's not appropriate for Qingguang to be performing foreign minister's duty in public when there are so many other gossip that will be negative press whenever he shows up anyway.
That was Wen Tisong, a political scientist at Australian National University, speaking to Louise Watt. Thailand has delayed its third parliamentary vote for its next prime minister. The country has been left without an elected leader since its general elections in May. Joyce Zeng reports on how this political deadlock is affecting Thailand and the wider region.
Thailand's political standstill doesn't look like it'll get moving anytime soon. About 2 months after their general elections, Southeast Asia's second largest economy has still not settled on who will be prime minister, with caretaker PM and ex-general Prayut Chan-o-cha remaining in place until a new one is appointed. Over 2 months later, the political drama has unfolded into a clash between elected and appointed voices. This drama has included a court-ordered suspension of front-running candidate Pitalim Jaranrat, who was blocked twice by Thailand's parliament from becoming prime minister. This sparked intermittent pro-democracy protests across the capital, Bangkok. But now a petition from Thailand's government watchdog arguing that the rejection of PETA's second attempt was unconstitutional has paused the entire process. Thailand's legislature was supposed to reconvene on July 27th for a third attempt to vote on a new leader. But that's been indefinitely postponed by the House Speaker. This also means Thailand must wait longer to start rebuilding from both the pandemic and policies from Prayut Chan-o-cha's junta rule since his 2014 coup.
This government under General Prayut has been damaging to Thai economy, Thai politics, Thailand's international standing. Thailand's international position and credibility has never been so low. Countries and people around the region are waiting for Thailand to get its act together.
It's not just Thailand struggling between democracy and autocracy. Other countries in Southeast Asia are facing a similar dilemma. Myanmar remains under the violent rule of the junta, which seized power in a coup in 2021. And Cambodia's recent election, won by incumbent leader Hun Sen, has been widely criticized after the main opposition parties were blocked from running. Analysts say this is why it's critical for Thailand to set a democratic tone for the wider region.
In Asia, we have South Korea, Japan, Taiwan on the democracy side. And of course, we have China on the other side of autocracy, and other countries in between. So Thailand is really a pivotal country.
With PETA blocked, the baton has been passed to coalition partner and second largest party, Pheu Thai, to go for the top seat. As Pheu Thai works to secure support from both elected MPs and junta-appointed senators, people in Thailand and abroad will be watching to see how democratic the process ends up being. Alex Chen and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has traveled to Tonga to meet the Pacific Islands Prime Minister. Blinken said he hopes to usher in a new era of collaboration between the U.S. and other countries in the Pacific.
This partnership is vital to making real a shared vision for the region and the broader Indo-Pacific. A region that's open, that's free, that's connected, that's prosperous, that's secure, that is resilient.
During his visit on Tuesday, Blinken also dedicated a new U.S. embassy in Tonga. His trip comes as Washington is strengthening ties with Pacific countries to counter China's growing regional influence. This year alone, the U.S. has won access to new military bases in the Philippines, reopened its embassy in the Solomon Islands, and signed a defense pact with Papua New Guinea. Tonga owes China over $100 million. The World Bank says it is at high risk of debt distress. Meanwhile, U.S. companies may have to inform the government if they invest in advanced Chinese tech. That's after the U.S. Senate overwhelmingly backed an amendment for this change in legislation. Senators voted 91-6 in favor of the amendment, which was included in the military's yearly spending bill. It covers investments in semiconductors and artificial intelligence. The Senate is expected to pass its version of the bill this week. It'll then have to be reconciled with the House of Representatives version before it can be signed into law. This comes as Washington attempts to make sure the U.S. stays ahead of China in the race to build and develop critical technologies. A U.S. federal court has thrown out the desertion conviction of a former U.S. soldier who abandoned his post. That's after finding that Bergdahl may not have received a fair trial. Bergdahl was captured by the Taliban after he walked away from his post in 2009. He was released in a prisoner swap after 5 years in captivity. Bergdahl was then convicted of desertion in 2017 and dishonorably discharged. The 2017 ruling was made by Colonel Jeffrey Nance. At the time, Nance was applying for a job in former President Trump's Justice Department. Trump had called Bergdahl a traitor and suggested that he be executed. This has led a federal judge to question whether Nance was biased. The decision to throw out the conviction can still be appealed. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, with Typhoon Doxori bearing down on Taiwan, watch as some mascots in Kaohsiung are deflated in preparation for the storm. I'm Eric Gao. Take care and see you next time.